It's Friday, February 7th, 2025. Welcome to episode 140 of the Alameda Postcast, an audio service of the Alameda Post. I'm your host, Scott Piehler. In this edition of the Postcast, the City Council hears from APD and renews the Urban Forest Plan. Credit card fraud uncovers additional crime. AC Transit unveils one new system but battles bugs in another. An Alameda-based Coast Guard cutter in the news, the latest real estate sales, and Foz gets snarky for Valentine's Day. These stories and more on this episode of the Alameda Postcast. Our top story. On Tuesday, the City Council heard from Police Chief Nishant Joshi and Captain Alan Kubayama, who reviewed the last 3 years at APD and provided updates on year-to-year crime statistics. Since Chief Joshi was hired in 2021, the department has filled 107 positions through hiring and promotion. In 2023, the city approved what was believed to be the most lucrative police signing bonus in America, a $75,000 incentive that required 5 years of employment. That bonus accelerated the hiring rate, and as of today, the patrol division and all staff positions are fully filled, as well as adding a crime analyst and police auditor. The department also invested in new technology, including permanently mounted and mobile license plate readers. The department underwent training in such areas as de-escalation and instituted a 100% review of all officer body cam footage. As we reported last week, the efforts appear to be paying off. From 2023 to 2024, overall crime down 12%, burglary down 37%, and auto theft down 25%. If you attended the council meeting, some of those numbers may sound different than what you heard on Tuesday. There were some discrepancies in the initial presentation. The Post reached out to Chief Joshi, and we received updated numbers, which align with our reporting of last week. And, as we often note here on the podcast, the main crime concern in Alameda remains property crime, and as such, the preliminary focus of APD crime reduction efforts. We'll have more on a recent success story in that area in just a moment. Last week on the Postcast, I reported that the Planning Board had provided comments on the draft Urban Forest Plan. That plan was presented to the City Council on Tuesday as part of a work session. As noted last week, that plan updates the 2010 Master Street Tree Plan. Maximum tree height was a significant point of debate during public comment. Tim Haynes, general manager for Alameda Municipal Power, discussed how tree species with a maximum height of 25 feet are appropriate under utility lines to avoid conflict with wires. City General Manager Jennifer Ott pointed out that the city averages 5.5 tree incidents per month related to power lines, noting that this is, quote, not to be taken lightly, end quote. Nonetheless, numerous public members called for taller trees, with one asking for more coastal live oaks in parks, saying they have high play value and high value as a native species, supporting wildlife. Councilmember Tony Dasog pointed out a bit of an irony. The root of Alameda is alamo, a type of poplar tree which averages 40 to 60 feet. As he noted, quote, so if we were to follow this policy of limiting tree heights to 25 feet under all utility lines, we couldn't even plant the tree after which our city is named, end quote. Sustainability and Resilience Manager Danielle Mueller reported that following receipt of final comments by February 14th, staff will revise the Urban Forest Plan and expect to return with a revised draft for council approval in the late spring. In other business, council unanimously authorized the city manager to execute a lease amendment with Astra Space Operations for Building 360 at 1900 Skyhawk Street. The amendment would permit Astra to defer 50% of its total lease and license fee revenue for 9 months, and to repay the deferred amount over the subsequent 12 months. This is part of Astra's efforts to secure the company's financial health in wake of taking the company private after 3 years as a publicly traded firm. Details on Tuesday's council meeting in Karen Jensen's article at alamedapost.com/news. Turning our attention back to the Alameda PD, in early January, an officer took a report of a fraudulent credit card use. It was determined the card had been used multiple times without the cardholder's knowledge, totaling more than $1,700. After the officer investigated several leads, the case was passed on to detectives for further investigation. APD officers took a suspect into custody as they exited an Alameda post office on January 29th. During a search of their home, officers uncovered hundreds of pieces of stolen mail, including ID cards, checks, credit cards, tax documents, and banking information. Many of these items were addressed to Alameda residents. Officers also found burglary and retail theft tools, as well as drug paraphernalia. Detectives are still processing hundreds of pieces of evidence, including nearly 300 personal checks. APD has partnered with U.S. Postal Service Inspector's Office to return unopened mail to the rightful owners. Find details on the case, as well as tips to help you guard against fraud. The article at alamedapost.com/news. Another tip, if you'd like to know what mail should be in your box each day, sign up for the Informed Delivery program with the post office. You'll be able to schedule an email that will show you images of what to expect in your next delivery, plus many other services. Head to USPS.com and select Informed Delivery from the Quick Tools menu to get started. On the subject of knowing when something's coming, AC Transit has introduced an improved feature to their app and website to help you know when your bus is going to be there. The improved prediction engine should improve accuracy by about 20%. This will also assist sites like Google Maps, although the new tech is not yet connected to the digital signs and audio information at the stops. But if you've got the app, you're all set. Details at alamedapost.com/news. Of course, not every technological rollout goes smoothly. Back in episode 124, we reported on the new AI-enhanced system rolled out by AC Transit to issue tickets to those illegally stopped or parked in bus stops. While AI-powered cameras record the violations, human review was intended to stop any improper tickets being issued. However, some Alameda residents are being mistakenly issued parking citations at $110 a pop. That is costly, and the process of protesting is time-consuming. Parents at Kitty Campus Cooperative Preschool are among those who have been wrongly issued the citation, the bus stop in question located on Pacific near Main Street. Jonathan Quamina, a parent at Kitty Campus, spoke to the Alameda Post about his experience, saying that in October he had twice parked 2 car lengths away from the bus stop in legal spots, yet was mailed 2 citations. His surprise at the citations turned to annoyance when he saw he had only 14 days from the date to contest the tickets. By the time it reached him in the mail, that left only 7 days. Our own Jean Chen received a ticket despite being legally parked in a metered space. AC Transit did not respond to requests from the Post for information on how many cars had been wrongly cited and whether the program had been successful in keeping cars out of bus stops in the first place. Whether the wrongful citations are AI or human errors remains a question. For more on this story, look for Jean's upcoming article on alamedapost.com/news. Concern for the crew of the Alameda-based Coast Guard cutter Weishi. You'll know the ship is number 751 when it's docked at Coast Guard Island. According to various news sources, including the U.S. Naval Institute, the Coast Guard is searching for a missing member of the crew off the Pacific coast of Mexico near the border of Guatemala. The Weishi was in Alameda in August and, according to social media posts, departed in December. According to USNI, the ship was last in U.S. waters December 19th. Find online coverage by searching the ship's name, WAESCHE. Quick look at real estate sales from January 14th through February 3rd. 10 homes changed hands. From immediate sales to 120 days on the market, the homes averaged about 7 weeks on the market. Median list price, $827,500. Median sale price, $845,000. Highest sale price, $2,778,000. The low of $493,000. 4 of the properties above list, 3 at list, and 3 below. Full details in Liz Rush's article at alamedapost.com/features. One day, while taking my dog on one of her multiple daily walks through Franklin Park, I came across a young man raking acorns out of a tree. That man was Gabriel Duncan, founder and principal researcher of the Alameda Native History Project. We chatted for a while about the role acorns play in the life of the area's indigenous populations. The journey from tree to table is quite an involved one, and the History Project now sharing that with all those who are interested. Get to know a little more about this piece of Alameda history and learn how to make some delicious acorn-based foods. Find all the details with Gabriel's article at alamedapost.com/op-ed. Have you had a bad breakup, still seething over your ex, and now Valentine's Day is upon us? Well, you can get some of that out of your system and do some good along the way, too, thanks to the folks at Foz. Yes, friends of the Alameda Animal Shelter are here to help you give Cupid the kiss-off. For a contribution of $5 or more, Foz will write the first name of your ex at the bottom of a litter box, which will then be used by the shelter cats. Kind of brings new meaning to the term dumping your ex. Deadline is Monday the 10th. No limit to the number of names, just $5 a throw. Find full details at alamedapost.com/features. Don't forget, the Alameda Point Antiques Fair is this Sunday, February 9th, after being postponed due to weather last weekend. For more events, head on over to Amanda Laird's All Around Alameda column. She's focused on a series of on-island events. Some great ideas for both Black History Month and Valentine's Day. Again, that's the All Around Alameda column at alamedapost.com/features. If you're looking for more events, check out 94501.info. And hey, if you want to get into the mood of the Big Easy for the big game on Sundays, head to Southern Comfort Kitchen for beignet Sundays and grab some New Orleans-style yumminess. Again, 94501.info. Thank you for your support of local news for Alameda. If you don't get our newsletter yet, head on over to alamedapost.com/newsletter and sign up. Find us on all the usual social media outlets and find the Postcast wherever you get your podcasts, or just tell your smart device to play the Alameda Postcast podcast. I'm Scott Piehler, back next Friday with episode 141 of the Alameda Postcast.